Hi, love. How are you? Welcome to Champagne and Conversations. How are you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you. Welcome, Nikia Ladine, to Champagne and Conversations. And you had already started with your sip. So cheers to you.
Cheers.
Yeah, we were dancing and you were drinking. So it's like, okay, go. It's fine.
I was like, it's here. I can't help myself. It was smelling good.
That's great. That's great. Welcome, Nikia, to Champagne and Conversations. And am I saying your name correctly?
It's NIKA.
NIKA. Okay. When I was talking to my tech earlier, I was thinking that it was supposed to have an additional I there. And I was like, where is it? So, okay, say it one more time.
NIKA.
NIKA. Okay, great. Okay, y'all. Don't mind me. It's just what it is. So sorry. I'm having one of those days. So thank you so much for bringing your energy to the show.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. I was thinking earlier, normally I use that time to be able to do my research and my woo-saw and all that great stuff with my coffee. And today it was just kind of one of those days where it was just like out of gas. You know how like a car has to have gas to go, and my go was gone. You know what I'm saying? Like last week when we didn't have gas, it was gone. And I was just trying to figure it out. Like, where is it? And then I was like, today I'm getting energy. So thank you. I appreciate you for coming on and bringing the good vibes and sharing in this. Your new release is amazing. Guys, if you have not checked it out, the song is titled Energy. I did a clip on my IG page, and you can hear it on your YouTube, and you have it streaming on all platforms.
Yes.
Okay. Yes, it's amazing. And while we're just talking about it, go ahead and share that so that people can find your new single.
Okay, so you can find it on all platforms under NIKA Ladine. You can just search NIKA Ladine Energy, or you can go to my Bandcamp, nikaladine.bandcamp.com, and you can find it there.
Nice. It is beautiful. The song, I love it. I
Thank
love
you.
it. And guys, we were having a little chat before we started, and I had to say, no, don't play it yet. But I wanted to ask you, as we will get back into the single, what were your inspirations growing up? What were you kind of listening to and vibing to as a young child, as getting into this?
So I always make this joke. I have a cousin who's 3 years older than me. She and I were joking in the car one day. We said we were probably listening to music growing up that we probably shouldn't have been listening to. So, growing up, we listened to everything though. Chaka Khan and Denise Williams, and had a lot of jazz. My grandfather was a guitarist and a singer, and he played piano. So my grandfather, I think at one point, he was like, no, I'm going to sound like Sam Cooke when I sing this song. So we listened to a lot of Sam Cooke, but then we listened to a lot of stuff like Johnny Taylor and Tyrone Davis.
Oh my gosh, you all are really into it.
Yeah, it's like old school, that blue light basement R&B music. Mm-hmm. And so as a matter of fact, we were riding in the car one day, and this song called Candy Liquor came on. I don't know if you've ever heard it, but it's a nasty song. And I remember hearing the tune to that song when we may have been like 5 and 8, and I looked at her and I said, we had no business listening to that song.
And I just heard it for the first time like 2 days ago, so I know exactly what you're talking about. I'm like, wait.
Yeah, and he's talking trash in the song.
Trash, yes.
But if you can think about it, back then, a 5 and an 8-year-old would really have no idea what he's talking about. Nowadays, a 5 and an 8-year-old might be like, oh, okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, but back then, it's like, no, you didn't realize what you were listening to.
Right.
We were just vibing in the car, and we were like, he really said that? It's like, yeah, he said that.
He said that.
Yeah.
He said that. That's funny you say it. So your influences were definitely old soul, old school, old
Absolutely.
soul. From and did you talk about your father was a musician?
My grandfather was a
Okay.
musician. My
Okay.
grandfather played guitar, he played piano, he played organ, and he sang. And
Nice. Okay.
my dad actually used to play guitar. My dad hasn't picked up a guitar in years, but he used to play guitar. He used to play piano, and my dad sings very well. My dad will not let anybody hear him sing though. So he sings and he's like, I'm a shower singer. I'm like, no, you can sing. You just don't even want anybody to hear you.
Right.
But I come from a very musically inclined family.
I
Um,
see.
I think people, especially being from the deep South, in that Southern Virginia area, nobody wanted to venture out of what they knew, what they saw. And so they were afraid to use their talents, you know?
Well, I'll flip that and say in the Virginia area, we have a lot of talent and we
Absolutely.
do exhaust what we can in terms of, whether it be producing or obviously the artistry, because we have a lot of artists from Virginia. So that
That's
was great.
changed recently. I mean, I would say in this age, like in the past maybe 20 years,
Oh,
but I'm
yes, yes,
talking
yes.
like 50
Yes,
years ago, 40 years ago, people were
yes.
not inclined
Well,
to.
they were all South, right? They were a lot
Exactly.
of it was South or Southern influences for sure. But yes, we're thankful for those folks that have come out of the VA area and became amazing. And
Yes.
congratulations to you to be another
Thank you.
added to that roster. Now you were mentioning that your grandfather has been a musician. Do you play any instruments?
I do. I play piano.
Okay.
I'm not the greatest pianist.
Uh-huh.
I can do a little bit, a little something, something, just a little bit though.
Did you play on your song?
I did not.
Okay.
My producer played on the song.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And so now getting into the influence for the song, the energy, what was that? Because it sounds like a bit of a love song, but I don't want to assume that that was what it was. So just tell us what was the inspiration for it?
So the song is really about a crush. That's really what the song is about. I was having a conversation with one of my producers earlier, and we were brainstorming about the song, this
Uh-huh.
particular song, and he said, there are certain songs that you hear that make you want to lay down with someone. And then there are certain songs that you hear that make you want to wake up with someone. And this is one of those songs that you want to wake up to someone
Oh, so wait,
to
you're
this
not laying
song.
down and waking up with the same, that's not
No, 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 no,
possible.
no. Well, no.
I'm like, wait,
Girl,
hold it.
look,
That
woo.
that one gotta go.
No, but
Okay.
I guess what he's trying to say
I
is
know what
that,
you're saying. I know.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
it's the feeling, but I couldn't leave that there. I was just trying to understand. Did one have to get out at 3 a.m.? Because
Look,
you
the
didn't make
walk
the
of
cut,
shame.
boo.
Do the walk of shame tonight. So,
This is why we shouldn't have this early. It's okay. Go ahead. I'm sorry to cut you off. Go ahead, finish.
but you got me laughing now. But so the song is really just about having a crush and pouring your heart out to someone that you're friends with that you have feelings for. Um, I of course I think most adults have been in a situation where we've had a crush on somebody. And had a crush on a friend, you know. So I really wanted to write this song from a standpoint that everyone could relate to. But I also wanted to do it throwing out um, ideas that people don't really speak about in music. Like I talk about twin flame, and people don't talk. When is the last time you heard a song where somebody mentions Ashford and Simpson? So yeah, I wanted to kind of throw some things out there to make you think. So yeah, that's pretty much where the influence came from. It was just, it's just I wanted to bring a vibe that everybody could relate to, and I felt like everybody could relate to a crush, and a crush really just stems from the energy that you feel from that other person.
I like it.
Yeah.
And now I don't know what to say because I'm like, I'm just gonna sit in that for a minute. The energy. I'm just gonna sit here for a minute. I got it. That's nice. So obviously, and not taking away from all of that, you tend to go back to the 80s and maybe even the 70s as you are referencing some of the vibe, the things that you
absolutely.
okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And that's a dope concept. And you released this single just recently, or was this
February 13th?
Okay, so very timely in the sense that obviously we're still in whatever phase of pandemic, in, out, whatever we're doing at this point. But the fact that you have created an energy within the situation, but a lot of us are going back to the music that made us feel good in the 80s or even the 70s, because there is music, like you stated, that is great. So that music is what is helping us to get through this, make us feel good, kind of let all of the other stress go. And then here you come and you have now infused into that cycle. So definitely great strategy. And it's amazing song. And so you're doing well internationally from what I understand. So that's great.
Thank you. I'm still shocked.
That's awesome.
I had my producer laughing. I have a team of producers, by the way. I don't just have one producer, but I was talking to my producer Ransom on the phone earlier, and we were talking. Like I said, we were talking about the song, and he was like, "Oh my God, this song is doing so well, like even internationally." I said, "I moved to DC for a job. I wasn't expecting to be known in Germany."
So. There you go. You just never know when it's going to happen. And, Absolutely. And that definitely was your time. And like I said, great timing in terms of when you produced this music and brought it out with the times that everyone is in right now. So, I mean, it just kind of added to it, especially since you have the old soul and, being in that vibe, it just probably seems like something that's in the mix already. Like, oh, okay. When did this come out? Like, oh, are you sure? Is this a remix? Because it's so nice, and the great thing is that it is a timeless piece, so you'll be able to play this, listen to this, perform this forever. You didn't put anything on that would not allow for you to do it. So again, congratulations on it. Congratulations on your international presence. How is it doing here in the United States?
So far, I know that it's being heard in a few places, or a few other states other than the DMV. Because of course, people. As a matter of fact, I would even venture to say it's probably doing better in other states than in the DMV, which is
because DC is a major market.
Absolutely.
So it tends to take a bit to get there. They want it to spend a lot in North Carolina or some of the other smaller places. But like the southern states that you mentioned that you've been, they are the ones that usually pick it up fast.
Absolutely.
And they make it hot for your bigger markets.
I was kind of shocked that one day someone did a live and he was driving down Venice Beach, California, and he was vibing to Energy as he was driving. And That's someone dope. Tagged me in the live, and I'm sitting there like, I don't even know who this person is.
so dope.
Yeah, I was like, yo, this is amazing. So I thanked him, and it warms my heart to know that I took a theory that was in my head and put it on vinyl. I was still kind of shocked at the fact that, wait a minute, that's my voice that I'm hearing on vinyl. Or I've had radio shows actually hit me up and they're like, hey, we got a hold of your song. Or I would just be listening to somebody's random radio show and all of a sudden I hear my song and I'm like, oh my God, that's me. It's still the song just turned 90 days old and it's still a gut punch. It's like, oh, that's me. So
that's beautiful. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So yeah, I guess once this all ends, have you been asked to be a part of any shows, any kind of outside events? Have you started to book any of those yet?
I just got a call today from
Nice.
I actually had a meeting today via phone with uh, I, I don't want to call it a company. It is a team out of Montgomery County, Maryland.
Mhm.
And what they do is they basically showcase local artists, whether it be culinary arts, visual arts, or performance arts.
Mhm.
And they asked me to perform. I told them, I was like, I need to, like, right now, Energy is my only it's my only single. So you're gonna have to allow me to build my catalog a little bit more. I do have another single coming out here soon. So which we can get to later, but I want to make sure that before I go to perform, that y'all don't just hear Energy over. Even though I know it's a wonderful song, but I don't want to get burnt out from the song just singing it over and over again, and I don't want other people to get burnt out from the song. And so I want to make sure that my catalog is built enough so that I can bring some additionals.
Well, don't miss the moment. I mean, if you just open, for someone and it's a nice small set, what have you, make a live band, drag the song out a little bit. And it's not just the normal, 3 minutes and whatever. But don't miss the moment, even if it's just one song, because, as we were talking before we started, all of this is a part of healing and and ways to be able to just kind of let people know there's still a love out there. There's still, people that are paying attention to that kind of thing. And even though the words of this wasn't necessarily for that, it was more of the relationship, but people can, receive music as an art. So,
Absolutely.
to be able to just listen to the words, the melodic part of it, and it's still helping you to continue to brand and to build. So, I wouldn't dismiss one song. If it,
Oh
if it
no,
is that, then go, girl.
no, I like I said, for me, I'm definitely going to take advantage of that opportunity.
Right.
But one of the things that I told her, because I think that the show goes through December, and I
Okay.
said, if you could allow me until that time to do my show until the end of the year, because it's only one show. So it's like, if you could give me until the end of the year, then I can bring you something else. I can show a different side of me. My
By the
next
end of the year,
single.
be on someone's show, she'll be like, "You forgot all about me.
No. Oh, I'm booking the show. I'm like, as soon as
You
probably
didn't
as soon
come
as
see
we.
me."
No, I'm
But yeah,
definitely booking, but I definitely I think at the same time that's going to give because as many people had that have heard Energy, it's still new. It hasn't fallen on a whole lot of ears, and so I also want to give the song time to still refresh itself. I'm working on a video. I had someone ask me, so when can we expect a video? And I was like, well, I wasn't going to do a video because the song I always wanted the listener to visualize whatever they wanted to visualize when they heard
oh,
the song.
okay.
Because the point of the song is I wanted to take you back to a point of nostalgia where if you've ever felt that type of love, then you get back there. Or I wanted to give you hope for the future where if you have that person in your life, then it gives you some courage to say, okay, you know what, let me just let them know how I feel. So it's kind of it has two parts, it's so I don't want it, but at the same time, it still hasn't fallen on a lot of ears. And so I wanted to give it time to, for it to kind of fall through so people can say, dang, like, okay. And maybe they have to hear it a couple of times and then
Yeah,
say,
well,
okay, you know
it's
what?
moving.
Let me just let this girl know how I feel.
Yeah.
So, or let him know how I feel. So.
Very nice, very nice. And do you look to do any collabs? Is there anyone that you would like to work with in the future?
I like I said, I do have my team around me. I am very much one of those people who is I'm very indie artist driven. I like to, I listen to a lot of independent artists. As far as production, I would say outside of my team is gonna be like, wow, she's just trying to leave us. But outside of my team, a lot of people don't even realize how great of a producer Bruno Mars is. Bruno Mars has done production for Charlie Wilson and all of these people. And I feel like he has that old soul like I do. And so I feel like he would be able to pull that out of me a little bit as a producer. But locally and even as an independent artist, there's an artist out of Charlottesville, Virginia. His name is Nathaniel Starr. Nathaniel has a voice, and Nathaniel can write. I've already told Nathaniel, I'm like, hey, look, I don't have a fiance yet, but when I get married, I need you to sing this song at my wedding. Like, he has this one particular song. It's called Southern Comfort. And I'm like, look, I need you to sing the song at my wedding. And I think he messaged me back and he was like, so when's the wedding? I was like, I don't know.
I don't even have the relationship yet, but we'll get to that.
Exactly. I'm still working on that.
Still working on that part. Hopefully energy will do that part and then we'll get to you on the plan.
Exactly.
But that's a great way to manifest. So that's fine. You already put it all together, put all the steps together. So then you just had to push play, which is great. Yeah, that is awesome. And so you were speaking of Bruno Mars, and not just because you're an indie artist, but was there anyone else that you would like to work with?
I honestly, I could not offhand, like not that I can think of off the top of my head. I'm sure, like, usually when I'm asked these questions, I think about it later at night, and I'm just like, why did I say that? But production wise, like I said, Bruno Mars. As far as vocal skills, somebody that I would love to say do a collaboration with. I would want to pull from that old school and go Denise Williams or Janet Jackson, or if I could do a duet with anybody, which obviously I can't, it would have been Luther Vandross. Like, Luther Vandross is my favorite singer. So Luther would have definitely been top on my list. Like, oh yeah, I got to do a duet with Luther.
Yeah. So. Yes. Now, as it relates to just your, not just working with different artists, but what is your plan for your next? Have you already kind of mapped out, since you are that strategic planner, it seems, have you mapped out your next single? Do you know if it's going to be more of the same, or are you going to do something more up tempo?
So the next single is, it's more, it's a little bit more upbeat. I can't say that. It's kind of mid-tempo. It is definitely not a love song. It is definitely not a love song.
Okay.
But it's definitely not one of those songs that's gonna break you down, make you cry. I actually wrote the next song. Believe it or not, I was at a point where I was battling depression. So I was in a little bit of a slump. And I wrote the song based on the fact that I have to remember that, me being the human, the character, the person is one thing, but me being the persona, the artist, that's a totally different person. And so while I myself am depressed, how does the artist feel? Because my government name, my government name is Tanika. Tanika is depressed. Tanika is not feeling the greatest. Tanika is, having like a low point right now. But Nika Ladine, like, what would Nika Ladine write if she could write anything right now? And so this song comes from a very confident and almost cocky place. The name of the song is Image This Moment. And it is a very, it comes from a very arrogant place. And it's not me. It's not Tanika, the person. It is, when you hear it, it's kind of like people would hear it and they would be like, she is not modest at all in this song. But I wrote it as a means to pull myself from this sunken place, because it's like, I feel down, but that's not how I want to feel. Nika Ladine wants to feel this way. And so I had to take it from a standpoint where it's just like, okay, let's just be cocky for a second. Let's to pull myself out of this, one of the things that I learned is that you have to speak affirmations over yourself. You have
Sure.
to speak
Absolutely.
affirmations over yourself. And
Absolutely.
so, and I do that even when I was in that dark place, that sunken place, I still woke up every morning. That's the first thing I do every morning, as I speak affirmations over myself. Even when I'm feeling like crap, I go, I am pretty. I am special. I am creative. I am talented. I'm smart. I am witty. I am confident. And I could be feeling like I don't want to do anything today. I just want to lay here and cry all day. And I continue saying, I am brilliant. I am amazing. I am overjoyed. I am empowered. I am bold. I'm strong. I'm smart. Like all of these affirmations over myself. And then after a while, it's just kind of like, okay, let's get up and get to work. And then it starts like this burning in me where it's like, okay, yeah, I've said these things over myself. Now I just got to believe it. I said these things. I've spoken into existence. So now let's just go and make it happen. So when it comes to this song, that's really what this song is about. It's like, oh, I want y'all to see how I affirm me, but I want y'all to see how I affirm me, kind of thing.
So, not to get too deep and change the energy on this, but
Okay.
definitely as it relates to what you're saying, NIKA Ladine and your real person, do they have a conversation ever to say the affirmations that you're speaking? Who's speaking the affirmation? Is it the down person speaking the affirmation, or is it the full of life and everything giving you the affirmation?
It's really the down person that's speaking the affirmations to pull myself out of that place. Like I said, for me, there's the person and then there's the persona. And so at the end of the day, the persona might not be here forever, but the person, the person will. And my energy is going to live on. Like, going back to energy, NIKA Ladine is the artist. NIKA Ladine, that's the artist. But Tanika's energy has to live on. And so I don't want people to associate Tanika with this dark and dreary and just this down energy. I want people to associate her with this lively and fun and charismatic energy, because that's who she is. Like, despite the, whatever is going on. But I also wanted to reflect in who NIKA Ladine is, because NIKA Ladine is also that fun, it's kind of like Beyonce has Beyonce and then she's got Sasha Fierce. So, and then she pulls out Sasha Fierce when she's like, doing her thing. I also want it to be kind of like that, where they're interchangeable, where I know when to pull out NIKA Ladine and I know when Tanika needs to say, okay, you know what, I need a break,
What are some of the lyrics to the new single? Just not to give away too much of it, but what are the lyrics?
Not gonna tell you that.
One verse?
It's not copyrighted yet. I gotta work on that. So,
okay.
No.
So in terms of the practice for that, have NIKA Ladine, the one that has the full of life, the full of energy, to continue to give the affirmation, or start giving the affirmation, because that is not so much separate and apart, but it is part of you. It is just another vibration. And, what you want to do is blend the vibrations so that you have, the pH is there, and that's something called balance. And you have the balance. So I would just say, if you feel that one part of you carries so much, and then the other part of you may not, it's just a matter of alignment in terms of being able to get those two energies to meet and to talk it through, just to be able to say, okay, NIKA Ladine is on 1000 all the time. And, we just want to bring you up to the point of being able to be on at least 100 most of the time. And if not, it's okay. 60%, 70%, it's always a great situation, but all of those contributions are you, and all of them will give you the full gamut of what you want to do as a performer. Tasha Cobbs has shared this same story, and it may be somewhere, the great gospel one that we know, Tasha Cobbs. So
Yes.
you could definitely probably look back into that. May also has been known, obviously, we've been talking about mental health, and I don't think that mental health is used in the way that we knew of it back in the day, like
Mhm.
mental, it's definitely a state of being. It's just in your mind in terms of
Absolutely.
where you are right now, what you're feeling. We're going through a lot. And so,
Yeah.
on top of going through a lot. So whatever we're going through in the world, and then we're going through in our households, our families, those things can wear on you, and you can get to the point of, I need a break, just like I was saying earlier, you just feel like sometimes you're just out of gas, and you can give yourself the opportunity to get out of gas and then refuel and then charge and then go, especially when you're giving so much to so many. You understand?
Yes.
So performing is that, and you're going to run out of gas a lot faster than, say, the average person that just has to keep that little bit of energy for themselves. You understand?
Yeah.
So that with that, I would just encourage you to just stay positive. Keep your strength, the great energy that you have, and giving that to yourself, as you owe it to yourself as well as you owe it to your fans. So, don't discredit yourself or take away from that energy that you have, so that you can stay positive as best we can. Because again, we can't do it 100 all the time. But thank you for sharing that, because there's probably someone on here that's listening and they're saying, yeah, I'm going through the same thing, be it an artist or not. But there's a lot of people that we've been in, private places for a long time. I don't want to say that I live alone, but and so you're home a lot by yourself, even though we're
Hmm.
working and doing things. You don't always have, outside of conference calls and such, that you can have conversations with people. So, those things happen, and you do have to kind of find ways to work yourself through it, so that you
Yeah.
don't. And then, of course, having conversations with like minds, so that helps you too, to be able to move through it. So, good luck with that. I do want to add that the prayers and, the motivation for you to keep giving yourself the affirmations and be ready to receive those.
I trust me, I don't stop.
Yeah,
There's no
yeah,
stopping this
yeah,
train. The train is moving,
yeah,
and there's no stopping. It's
yeah,
it's it's
definitely.
already on the track. So yeah, like I said, I don't I might be down for, you know, what is it, the Sounds of Blackness song, whatever it takes,
Optimistic.
going all the way. I might
Uh-huh.
be down sometimes, but I won't be down always. It's like, yeah, I like I said, I just learned, a long time ago, about the power of I am. You just gotta, even, I don't care how dark or grim or whatever it is, like, some people don't have that alter ego that they can use to pull themselves out of it. And for me, I don't want to be fully reliant on the alter ego to pull me out of it. And so I just learned how to pull myself out of it. It helps to have a tribe. I'm going to say this. It helps to have a tribe of people who believe in you when you get to points where you can't even believe in yourself.
Right.
And this tribe that I have around me, like, a few weeks ago, like I said, I was just kind of like, okay, yeah, I'm in this, like, I'm not feeling it at all. And like, they were just like, okay, so write about it. And I'm like, I don't want to write about this. And they're like, just write about it. And that's really what I did. But I flipped the script. I didn't want to write about the pain. I wanted to write about the pleasure.
Sure.
So, I did that. So my tribe, I have these. It's. I have my vocal coach, and then I've got these three brothers, and they all just pull me out of whatever point. They know exactly how to do it too.
That's what,
Jokes and
right. That's
yeah,
what you need. Exactly. That's what you need, to be able to keep you in a good headspace, and keep
yes,
you, floating, in essence, keep you positive and motivated to do things even in times that you may not. So yeah, best wishes to you. Good luck to you on your
Thank you.
new upcoming, since we couldn't get a little taste of what you may have. I tried, guys. I tried.
I'm
But
sorry.
it's okay. We will look for the new music when you're ready. When do you anticipate that to come out?
So I'm looking forward to that coming out next month in June.
All right. Yeah, so
Yes,
you're working. So that's amazing. Um,
absolutely.
and again, share your social media and your website, all of that great information so that people can continue to follow you. And when you do release, they will be ready for it.
Okay, so you can find me on all social media platforms at the NIKA Ladine. That is at TheNikaLadean. Or you can search NIKA Ladine and you should find me. My music, again, you can just search NIKA Ladine. My music will pop up. I do have some covers that I've done on YouTube, so you can take a listen to those. Or you can go to my Bandcamp, nikaladine.bandcamp.com, and the song is there for you to listen to it, for you to purchase it, for you, however you want to do it. So
that's awesome. We do. We're excited for you and do appreciate you sharing the time and the story. And, you know, I know that you've probably touched someone today in terms of just that amazing conversation and your journey, and best wishes to you on the
thank you.
journey as you are entering into this new space. And, you know, it's growth, but it'll be amazing. So just receive that,
Thank
understand that,
you.
and receive that. NIKA Ladine, thank you so much for joining Champagne and Conversations, bringing that
Thank
energy,
you.
that vibe today. And guys, you have all of her social media, so follow her, support her. Thank you again.
Thank you for having me. God bless you.
Thank you.